It all started with Greg and Heather, two tourists in Australia looking for some adventure shark diving. They missed their original boat because they overslept. So they wander down the harbor and spot an old boat. Greg takes one look and decides it's a death trap on water and wants to head back. But Heather, being the bright spark she is, suggests they at least ask the fisherman standing nearby, maybe the thing still works. The fisherman? He says the owner isn't around, then immediately launches into some creepy story about a shark attack. Probably trying to scare them off, but right then, a truck pulls up. Out steps the owner. Big guy, goes by the name Tuck. Greg and Heather explain they missed their ride. Tuck says he's a dive master, he can take them out himself. They agreed. On the way, they see this old poster in the cabin, 7-year-old Tuck, apparently famous for surviving some shark attack as a kid. He even tells the story, real heartfelt stuff. Heather gets spooked, asks if the shark bite hurt. Tuck lifts his shirt, shows them this massive scar like it's some kind of trophy. By the time they reach the middle of the ocean, Tuck tosses some meat into the river to lure the sharks out. The water turns wild with fins. Heather freaks, says she's not going in, but Tuck claims he's got some ancient technique for fear. He makes them hold hands while he sings this creepy nursery rhyme. They played along. Next thing, they're in the water, inside the cage. Heather's terrified, Greg holds her arm. They got out and thanked Tuck. He pulled out a knife and stabbed Greg in the throat. Just like that, and pushed him into the river. Sharks do the rest. Heather screamed really loud out of fear, but no one hears her. Meanwhile, I'm in the city buying foodstuffs. Some guy comes in asking for jumper cables to start his car. I turned himself down immediately. I had other things going on, like hiding some items under my drink so I didn't have to pay for them. I didn't know he saw me earlier. He blackmailed me into helping him get his car started. So, we drove off. He tried small talk. I shut it down. Not in the mood. I helped him jump the car. I discovered he's a surfer. He gave me surfing tips. We exchanged names. He's Moses. We ended up making out in my van. He tossed out a fin key. He didn't realize it's important. We had a little gist for a few minutes, then he offered to cook for me. I agreed, then ditch him before dinner's ready. Later, I parked my van near the shore. It was really late, but I wanted to surf. I prepped my board. I discovered my fin key was missing. I spotted a truck. I went to check if they'd got a spare keys. Guess who shows up? Tuck. He said he was just taking a leak. He gave me a key. I didn't think twice. Moses texted me. He asked if I liked our time together. I texted back that was going surfing. He asked to join. I agreed, told him where. Before he replied, someone grabbed me from behind. Bag over my head, big hands, strong arms. I tried to fight back. Everything went black. I woke up tied to a bed, trapped on a boat. I meet Heather there, said she's been here for days. She told me about Greg. At that moment I was in real trouble. I screamed for help, but to no avail. We were miles out. Just water and sky. I tried to pick the cuffs. Along the line I discovered that there were other people before us. I ask Heather if anyone's looking for her. She says no, just her mom back home telling her not to travel. She regretted not listening. She cried about never seeing her again. I told her no one's looking for me either. Moses doesn't count. Speaking of Moses, he found my van, and call the cops. They don't care, they think I'm some transient girl who lives in her car. He insisted I'm not like that. Cop asked how long we've known each other. He said couple hours. Yeah. Real convincing. Back on the boat, I notice an underwire in her bra. I used it to pick the cuffs. Just as I started, Tuck walks in with food and water. I tried again after he left. It turned out the food was drugged. Everything went fuzzy. I woke up to lights on and camera rolling. Heather was unconscious. Tuck lowered her into the ocean. Sharks were waiting for her body. He filmed everything. As soon as he dropped her, the sharks feasted on her. He filmed my face, wanting my reaction. Later, he danced around the boat like it's all some big party. I carve Heather's name on the wall next to the others. He took her hair, taped it to a VHS and added it to his collection. He wrote my name next. He brought me food, I kicked it away. He ranted about being a superior creature. I called him a worm. He didn't like that, he left angry. I broke the bucket handle, I planned to stab him, I pretended to sleep. When he came back, I went for it. Stab him. He goes down. I grabbed the keys. He woke up, chased me, injected me with something. I fought, ran to the deck, tried the radio. It was just static. I saw a boat far away, I screamed but they've got music blasting, no one heard. Tuck cornered me, he wanted his camera back, I tossed it into the ocean, I jumped into the river but the drag hits me mid-swim. He dragged me back with a hook. Moses finally found the boat, heard me below deck, he broke in, I told him to call the cops. As Moses heads out to get the tool, he's suddenly attacked by Tuck. He stands to throw a punch at him, but this doesn't do any damage, and Tuck grabs him to hit him on the throat, causing him to drop the phone. Tuck quickly kicks it away so he doesn't reach for help. Before Moses can reach for the phone again, Tuck uses a hook to hit and drag him away from it, wondering where he came from and trying to finish him off, but Moses grabs something and hits him on the head with it. He tries choking him and almost succeeds, only for an old man to hit Moses on the head with a wooden piece. At that moment, the man heard my cry for help down below. Tuck smashed his head with the fish hook, killing him instantly. Moses ended up tied next to me. He asked why I left that night, I told him I'm better off alone. Moses said that's not true and mentions the few things he already knows about me. Moses woke up to find the mutilated body of the man from earlier. He's tied to the crane and lifted up towards the ocean as sharks start to approach the boat. Seeing this, I begged Tuck to stop. Tuck doesn't agree and lowers the crane until only half of Moses' body can be seen. I told him to try his best and be still, and Tuck says that the fish is a bull shark, one of the most ferocious sea animals, and starts filming. Seeing the fish leaving, Tuck gets disappointed, and takes Moses out of the water and back to the boat. Tuck walks up to him and stabs him multiple times before taking him back to the previous position. Now, with the blood dripping all over his body to his feet and down to the ocean, the sharks are seen returning. He suddenly stops when he sees a rescue helicopter hovering over the sky. Moses is barely alive because of the cuts. Seeing this, I got more desperate to look for ways to break free and considered breaking my bone. When Tuck walked in to bring them food. After he leaves, I tried squeezing my hand through the cuff, all to no avail. Seeing Moses lying beside me in a pool of blood finally gave me the courage to bite off my finger. When Tuck returns to administer another dosage, he doesn't find me. Turned out I was hiding behind the door and quickly closes the door behind him. I ran to the helm to start the boat and see if I can get to land. Turned out Tuck had a secret opening, which he uses to escape the room to get to the engine control room and shuts everything off. I found a flare, and when Tuck sneaks up behind me, I shot it at him before running into the kitchen. I broke the glass to try and escape, and a piece of my clothing gets stuck, giving Tuck the chance to catch up, and he dragged me down. I quickly grabbed a pan and a knife to defend myself, and when he attacked, I easily stabs him in the hand and hits him with a pan, allowing me to escape the boat and swim away. Tuck tried to shoot me with a fish hook, but I already got too far from the boat. Using a smaller boat, he gives chase and caught up with me before I could reach out for help. He tackles me to the ground and pins me down, covering my mouth to prevent me from breathing and screaming until I passes out. He woke Moses up for him to watch the process, and it's a tiger shark approaching. It's one of the most deadliest sea creature known on the planet, so he sets his camera to start filming. When the shark got close enough, I kicked it to make it go the other way. Tuck grabbed a fish hook to make the fish mad, and the hook ended up falling into the water. I managed to grab the hook and used it to defend myself. When the shark suddenly disappeared deep into the water, I used the hook to climb up to the crane, only for the shark to suddenly appear behind me. Tuck scared me, and I ended up falling back into the water, this time without the rope suspending me, so now I could swim freely. Seeing the shark approaching, I remains calm, covered my wound, and it slowly swims away. I managed to climb back to the boat from the back and walk slowly to pick up a grappling hook, which I shot at Tuck, and he fell into the ocean. Tuck tried to swim back to the boat, only for the shark to come out of the water in an epic way to grab Tuck and dive back in. Seconds later, his body is seen floating on the surface, only for it to sink back in. With a sigh of relief, I turned to Moses to free him, only to get dragged back into the ocean by the hook's rope. Minutes later, I swam back to the boat to find a flare, which I uses to alert the cruise ship from the distance, and they finally respond to our call for help.